The Hall of Two Truths was massive. Pillars stretched into darkness, hieroglyphs covered the walls, stories and warnings from the past. At the far end, a giant set of scales shimmered. Before them crouched Ammit, Devourer of souls. She had the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. Her eyes, cold and yellow, missed nothing. Anubis, jackal-headed god of funerals, led a soul towards the scales. The soul was a shimmering human form, translucent and afraid. Ammit watched, her powerful limbs tensed. She was always hungry. Her nostrils flared, smelling the fear rolling off the soul. Anubis spoke. His voice was dry, like the desert wind. "Declare your name, soul, and be judged." The soul stammered. He was a small man in life, unimportant. Death had not made him any braver. His name echoed strangely in the hall. Anubis nodded and scooped the man's heart from a golden tray. It pulsed faintly, a fragile beat. Anubis placed the heart on one side of the scale. It dipped slightly. On the other side, he placed the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. The feather was lighter than air, a symbol of a life lived well. The two sides wavered. The hall held its breath. The soul's heart hammered in his chest. The heart dipped lower. Guilt, heavy and cold, dragged it down. The soul cried out. He tried to explain, to bargain, but the scales were not swayed by words. Only truth mattered here. The feather of Ma'at quivered, a fragile thing against the weight of his sins. Ammit rose to her paws, a low growl rumbling in her chest. Her hunger was growing. Anubis looked at the scales, his expression unreadable. He whispered a prayer to Thoth, scribe of the gods, who recorded the judgment. Thoth touched his brush to papyrus, and the air crackled with magic. The soul's fate was sealed. Ammit lunged. Her jaws snapped shut around the heart. A strangled scream escaped the soul as he was ripped apart, his essence devoured by the monster. Ammit swallowed, savoring the taste of fear and lies. The scales reset, ready for the next judgment. Ammit settled back on her haunches, eyes gleaming. The cycle continued. Justice in the Hall of Two Truths was swift and terrible. Ammit was a monster, yes, but she was also a guardian. She ensured that only the worthy souls passed into the afterlife. She was a symbol of the consequences of evil. And in the silence that followed her meal, a single truth remained. Ma'at would always have her due.